This call is now being recorded.
Okay, just started recording. Jai Jagannath. Good evening, Shubha Sandhya. नीलाद्रो शंख मध्ये सतदळ कमळे रत्न सिंहासनस्थं सर्वालंकारयुक्तं नभघन रुचिरं संयुक्तं चाग्रजेन भद्राय वामभागे रथचरणयुतं ब्रह्मरुद्रेन्द्र वन्द्यं वेदनं सारमेशं स्वजन परिवृतं ब्रह्मदारु स्मरामि. परम कारुणिक अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांडर मौडमणि कोटि कोटि ओडियांकर हृदयर आराध्य देवता समग्र विश्वचराचर षष्ठ आनंद कंद परमानंद सचिदानंद अखिल रसघन विग्रह विश्व वेदनार वैद्य देवाधिदेव श्री श्री जगन्नाथंकर चरण कमल रे कोटि कोटि दंडवत. Today we are observing 136 national level webinar on the title G20 in general and W20 in particular. The theme of which one earth, one family and one future. The main objective of this webinar is to empower the viewers about India's G20 presidency and women lead development. To discuss about the role of W20 in particular. So, being the host, I, DR.NAMITA Patnaik, and also the convener of this webinar, a hearty and warm welcome to all of you to this Google board. I welcome all the dignitaries to this Google board, respected principal, Dr. Nalini Prabha Mohapatra, the president of this webinar, esteemed Dr. K.P. Misra, the state chief commissioner and the vice president, Bharat Scouts and Guide, Reverend Dharitri Patnaik, the chief coordinator, W20 Secretariat, join us, chief speaker here, respected RASHMIREKHA SAMANTARAY ma'am, the teacher, Police Line High School, who will propose a vote of thanks. Dear colleagues, Morshi College of Natural Law, my loving members of webinar team, media persons, friends from different corners of our country, so rovers, rangers, volunteers, other leaders, BSG friends of different NGOs. So it's a great occasion now to welcome our great ma'am, our guest, Dharitri ma'am. First of all, I must welcome her virtually. Then I'll ask DIBYANSHU to enchant the SLOKA for welcoming her. Now I request DIBYANSHU Padhi, the 8 years old cub from DAB Public School, Jharsuguda. Are you there, DIBYANSHU?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please enchant your SLOKA.
Okay, ma'am. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ॐ कदाचित् कालं तटविपीडसङ्गीतकरबो मुदाभिरीनारी वदरकवला स्वादवधूपः रमाशम्भ्रू ब्रह्मः मरपति गणेशार्चितपदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे भुजे सभ्ये वेणु शिरसि शिखिपीठं कटितटे दुकूलं नेत्रान्ते सहचर कटाक्षं विदन्दते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावन वसति लीला परिचयो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे बोधे स्थिरे कनकरुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसन् प्रासादन्त सहज बलभद्रेण बलिना सुभद्रावध्यस्तः सकलसुरसे बाबशरदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिर्विद्यारं गम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, as you all know, the group of 20, that is G20, is the premier forum where it's for the international cooperation on the most important issues, the aspect of international economic and financial agenda. It brings together the world's major advanced emerging economies. India hosts the first G20 finance and central bank deputies under G20 India presidency in Bangalore. So we all know that G20, that is 2023, where India has presidency, and the theme or the motto being Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. So in that respect, today we are having the webinar, One Earth, One Family and One Future. So this is nothing but the theme of our G20 summit. And today, as all of you know, it is an intergovernmental organization made up of the European Union and the 19 other nations. So it strives to address important global issues like a climatic condition, sustainable development goal, all that things, all those economic concerns. So we have today special guest with us, Dharitri ma'am. All of you might have seen her in many spaces, particularly in NGO sector. He is a reputed person and he has more than 26 years of experience working to empower some of the most vulnerable sections of the society, including women, children, and underprivileged people of India. So she has worked on a variety of issues and across various sectors in the areas of international development, poverty alleviation, social reforms, women and child development, and both from a policy and advocacy perspective, as well as developing and managing on the ground operational initiative. So she has worked with the global institutions like UNICEF, ActionAid International, CARE, USA, UN Women, Water Health, and Bernard Van Lee Foundation globally, and most recently a deep engagement with many states in India, beginning with Odisha. In 2014, she founded Hamara Bachpan Trust, which works with people living in poverty spread over multiple cities and villages with 67,000 women and 135,000 children as active members. In 2017 March, she launched another new initiative called Sambhabi. Can you believe women empowerment with enterprise and employability? Since its initiation, more than 50,000 women working in informal sector have been trained in life skills, and more than 3,000 women living in urban and rural poverty have been trained in skill development. So, Hamara Bachpan Trust was awarded a special project to work with urban poor women by the National Skill Development Corporation, and also a project for recognizing a prior learning of farmers in rural West Odisha. So, Dharitri also the chairperson of the Diversified Energy Solution Private Limited, a fast-growing infrastructure company that implement various large-scale industrial projects in Eastern India. She has startup company. Can you believe? That is I Ventures Private Limited. This is into hospitality and wellness. So that it is organization is Hamara Bachpan Trust, won an international award. Congratulations, ma'am. At the best youth act by Peace Jam Foundation, 1 billion acts, and she won the Inspire Award in 2020 for leadership. Once again, congratulations, ma'am. She was felicitated by Ministry of MSME Government of India for being a successful women entrepreneur and mentoring other women. Sridhariti was also added with the John Kenneth Galbraith Fellowship in Harvard. That is also founding the chairperson of the Bhubaneswar chapter of India's leading women chamber of commerce. That is FICCI ladies organization. She is national governing body member and head of the national initiatives of international trade and digital literacy. So she is the chief coordinator of the W20 Secretariat, that is the FLO representing the FLO. And during India's G20 presidency, W20 is an official engagement group of G20, particularly for the women section. So she has a master in social work from Tata Institute, as all of you know, from TIS. So Mumbai, and a master in public administration from Harvard University, USA. So thank you, ma'am, for being with us, having a lot of experience, more than 25 years in this area of social activities. So I once again welcome to you this virtual webinars, and we think all my friends starting from Kerala to Kanyakumari to New Delhi, and from this side Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh, and few friends from Jharkhand and Bihar, and some friends from West Bengal. So all will be happy to listen from you. Now over to ma'am, Dharitri ma'am.
Thank you so much. Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jai.
Good evening, everyone. Namaste. And it's a pleasure being here. Respected Namita ma'am, Principal ma'am, Mr. KP Mishra sir, and RASHMIREKHA ma'am, and all those present here from all over India. It's my honor and privilege to be here today, speaking to you regarding the G20 and especially on the Women 20, that's the official engagement group on women. I'll just do away with my camera and turn on the presentation if you all don't mind. I hope I'm able to show my presentation. Can you see? I mean, I can.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can you see the presentation now?
Yeah.
So as Namita ma'am said, the motto of the G20, which India took over the presidency on 1st of December, is One Earth, One Family, One Future, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. G20 was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis as a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors to discuss global economic and financial issues. I don't know how many of you remember the financial crisis that the world faced in 1999. In 2008, after the global financial crisis, economic crisis, this was upgraded to the level of heads of state and governments and was designated as a premier forum for international economic cooperation. And the agenda was expanded from economics and finance to sustainable development, to climate change, trade, health, agriculture, energy, environmental, anti-corruption, as well as a lot of social issues. This group of 20 comprises of 19 countries: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States, and the European Union. One very important thing that all of us should know, that together the G20 accounts for more than 80% of the world GDP and 75% of global trade and 60% of the population of the planet. So who are we? Why W20 came into the fore? It was always seen. If you ever see, you all watch television, you watch news, you see the G20 summits, you see any leaders summit, G7, BRICS, you find most of them, 90% are men. There's hardly any women. We have now only the president of Italy, who's a woman, and the representative from the European Union, the commissioner, she's a woman. Rest are all men. Nothing wrong in it, but when the world has 50% of its population as women, we need to be adequately represented. So it was felt that the women's issues, the voice of women was not being heard by the leaders. The G20 communique or the leaders' declaration did not have anything mentioned about women, or very fleetingly would mention about women. So it was discussed that we need to focus, the G20 needs to focus on women's full economic and social participation. And hence there was a leaders' declaration in 2013 in Russia that women's financial inclusion and education needs to be included. And in the Brisbane's, Australia's G20 leaders' declaration, it was decided to bring more than 100 million women to the workforce. Again, I would like to ask how many, I wish this was a more interactive one and where it was face-to-face. I would have loved to ask you if you know what percentage of women are in the labor force in India. We are very, very low. That's only 23% of women are in the labor force or workforce in India. So there's a huge gap all over the world about how many women are there in the workforce. And so it was in 2015 that the Women 20 as an official engagement group of G20 was established. Every year, the G20 presidency goes from one country to the other. Along with the G20 presidency goes the W20 presidency. And then over the last few years, presidencies have gone from one country to the other. We took over from Indonesia, and it was in the post-summit in Bali where I was present last month. India had an informal handover, and we had a formal handover on December 12th. So the whole aim is by 2025, we should have a 25% reduction in the gap in the participation rates between men and women of the G20 countries. Our Honorable Prime Minister's vision for G20 is that the presidency will be inclusive, ambitious, decisive, and action-oriented. India will strive to ensure that the G20 acts as a global prime mover to envision new ideas and accelerate collective action over the next 1 year. If you know, like we used to hear about G20s, no one knew about it unless you are from the finance background or social background. One would never hear of G20. It was always like a side event. But our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has made this into a national movement. He says that everywhere it has to be like a Jan Andolan. We have to influence the global leaders. We have to influence our own leaders. So we need to, and the focus for the presidency is diplomatic solutions to global issues, focus on food security and traditional food, and celebrate International Year of the Millet, clean energy and solutions to global climate crisis, and women-led development. In charting in New India's growth story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized that India is transitioning from a women's development to a women-led development. In this grand vision, women have been reimagined as architects of India's progress and development, rather than being passive recipients of the fruits of development. In line with this, the government has implemented many multi-sectoral schemes that recognize the true potential of India's women, empower them, and provide them with a platform to contribute to India's growth story. Further, the Prime Minister's vision recognizes that women-led development holds the potential to create positive outcomes across multiple sectors. In a sense, the achievement of the target, a Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which talks about gender equality, also facilitates the realization of other SDGs, thus ensuring multi-pronged holistic development. So the W20 engagement group, like I said, all the engagement groups are independent collectives that are led by organizations from the host country. They work with other organizations from G20 countries to develop policy recommendations that are formally submitted to G20 leaders for consideration. And we, as an official engagement group, we focus on gender equity. Our primary objective is to ensure that gender considerations are mainstreamed into G20 discussions and translate into G20 leaders' declaration as policies that foster gender equality and women's economic empowerment. The vision of W20 is to create a world of equality and equity where every woman lives with dignity, remove all barriers to women-led development, and ensure an enabling environment and ecosystem for women to thrive, transcend, and transform their lives as well as others. Like I said, how we need to align ourselves to the Sustainable Development Goals. And Namita ma'am was saying that even your webinars are focused on how to achieve those Sustainable Development Goals. And I would like to say here is that since there are journalists, there are academicians, students, and people from all different walks of life, we all have a role to play in this G20, and especially in W20. So our strategy is to collaborate, cooperate, communicate, and call to action. We just don't want to keep on, doing things like bring out policy briefs and reports that no one reads. We want this year to be action-oriented. And we have chosen 5 key priorities, and most of these priorities are continuing from different countries. One is women's entrepreneurship in small and medium-scale enterprises, grassroots women leadership, bridging the gender digital divide, education and skill development, and climate change. And we have this various task forces who are going to work on all these different themes. So we produce a lot of knowledge products, do a lot of events and conclaves. So our key stakeholders, students, grassroots women, civil society, academic institutions, print and electronic media, all of you present here are our primary stakeholders. And in women, we have segregated who all are primary stakeholders. What I mean by stakeholders is we want every woman to contribute, every man to contribute to women's issues. Women's issues are not only for women. Women issues are both issues for men and women to resolve, for the power dynamics to be resolved. So we want men to be also included in this whole initiative. So we have a team of very eminent women. We have Dr. Sandhya Purecha, who's the chairperson of Sangeet Natak Academy, a dancer, choreographer, author, academician as the chair. Dr. Jyoti Kiran Shukla, she was the first and the former chairperson of first woman from who was the former chairperson of 5th Rajasthan Finance Commission. Professor Shamika Ravi, Ms. Bharati Ghosh, Ms. Ravina Tandon, Ms. Bansuri Swaraj, and the chief coordinator of the Secretariat. And we have Amul as an institutional partner. So the plan of action is, like I said, we don't want to leave any woman behind. from gully to Delhi. We want the voices to be heard, and everyone, we want to contribute. We want your recommendations, how to go ahead, because we feel each one of you has the power to change, and we want to bring about the change. I'm sorry, I'm yet to do with the Google Meet. How do I stop? Uh, I'm trying to stop the presentation. Okay. Yeah. So what I gave you a brief overview. We've just started. We're doing a lot of events with colleges and schools and with women's organizations in villages, in the slums. What we're trying to do is we're trying to generate a lot of ideas, recommendations. One thing we are very, very clear is we don't want to talk about the issues, the problems all the time, because we have so many government schemes now. We have a lot of investment on women. Thing is, one is the knowledge and information that needs to go to everyone about the schemes and how do we leverage the schemes. Second is there are so many stories of transformation that we don't focus on, and we want that to happen. We want stories of transformation. For example, maybe Bihar में कोई लड़की कभी स्कूल नहीं जाती थी, and she now is going back to school because of there has been a back to school or school chalo campaign. We have stories in Orissa where a girl has stopped her own marriage, girl child stopped her own marriage and is now back in school. So we have this, and then also success stories. I would request journalists to highlight the success stories where we have all this women entrepreneurs in small villages from self-help groups who've taken mudra loans and have started their businesses. So we all need, every time I meet young women or young men or these boys from students, I always find out what we lack is good role models, because we need to be aspirational. We cannot always dwell on our issues. We need to see the bright future. We need to be aspirational. Then only we can transform India, we can transform ourselves, we can transform our societies. And it's very important to have role models. That role model could be someone, a Mosi or a Ma in the villages, to to Naika's Falguni Nair, or someone holding a very senior position in the government or in the parliament, or Nirmala Sitaramanji. So it could be anyone from the grassroots to the parliament could be our role model, but we need to have a lot of role models. So we need to tell the stories of transformation, how ordinary women in villages, in slums, in cities, in tribal areas, have transformed their lives. And we want that to be heard at the international level as well. So on all the focus areas, we will be working on what are the issues, what needs to be done in terms of policy changes. But I would request journalists here and the students here to start being actively engaged in this W20 work and spread the word around. It's also very important for us, if our country is hosting G20, every one of us should be aware of what it is and how it will benefit. We should not think that it won't benefit, because every decision, we know how a Russia-Ukraine conflict could affect us, or the price in petrol could affect our lives. So everything affects us. Any global issue will affect us. So we need to be also engaged in those as citizens of one of the largest democracies in the world. We all need to be very, very aware of what's happening around us. With that, I would like to conclude. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, madam. Now, before it's open to all of you, you can ask question if you have got any doubt. And regarding G20, I know most of them, they have some knowledge less than 1% knowledge even. So no problem. We can clarify our doubts. Okay. So please ask. Starting from Majid Bhaiya. Yes. Vandana ma'am. Please unmute your video and you can ask. Yes, Vandana ma'am. Unmute yourself. Unmute, ma'am.
Yeah. Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Vandana ma'am, unmute your audio, please. Unmute your audio. Not able to do. Ask someone to help you. How to do? Madam, ki pakire ଅଛି ଯଦି କୁହନ୍ତୁ କାହାକୁ ପିଲାମାନେ କିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯଦି ମଝିଟା ଟଚ୍ କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉଥିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗାର ଅଛି ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଯୋଉ ଚିତ୍ରଟା ହେଇଛି ତା ଦେହରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗାର ଅଛି ସେଟା ଟଚ୍ କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ହରେନ୍ଦ୍ର sir, yes, ରମାକାନ୍ତ ଜେନା
Hello, namaskar.
କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍ କୁହନ୍ତୁ Ramakanta sir, do you have any question? Ramakanta sir,
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କିଛି question ଅଛି ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ Madam has given us many tasks. How to bring this issue to the grassroots level. So accordingly, you plan and you can ask. Not that we know everything. If you want some literature or if you want some action plan, you can ask about that. And Mr. Harinder Singh ji from MP. Yeah, Dr. Harinder Singh, do you want to have any question? Yes, Ramakanta ji, you don't have any question, then mute yourself. Okay. Yes, Sonu Bhaiya, you can ask.
हमारी आवाज जा रही है दीदी?
Yes.
सवाल तो नहीं है मगर मैम ने जो बातें बताई हैं बहुत सारी बातें पीडीएफ में भी थी मैम ने जो बातें बताई कि जिस पर हम लोगों को काम करना ही चाहिए और बिल्कुल करना चाहिए और जो बातें जो सामने नहीं आती इससे बहुत सारी बातें सामने भी आएंगी इसलिए मैम को आज जो बातें कही हैं बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बातें मैंने डायरी में मैम आपकी बातें को मैंने नोट किया है बिल्कुल हमारा तो वर्क भी वही है और बिल्कुल हमें करना भी चाहिए पॉजिटिव चीजों को ही लाकर ही हम कुछ अच्छा कर सकते हैं बाकी तो नेगेटिव आज के समय में चल ही रहा है उसके लिए कुछ कहने की जरूरत नहीं है बाकी सभी लोग जानते हैं मगर सकारात्मक चीजों को देख करके चलने से ही हम अच्छा कुछ कर पाएंगे नकारात्मकता से हमारी भलाई नहीं हो सकती है ये भलाई तभी हो पाएगी जब हम सकारात्मक चीजों को जोड़कर चलेंगे आपने जो बातें बताई इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
Thank you.
Okay. So one question from my side. I am planning in a different way. Will help ma'am because she is the chief coordinator. So in Orissa, we'll do something and we'll help and we'll cooperate with her and can extend our hands. So let us have some core group of children, those who belongs to some schools and colleges. Let us divide it one from school group, one from college group, so that we can have another forum to discuss with ma'am through webinars, and then officially they can have some, if corona will not be there, then we can have a program, offline program, and she will come to our college, or we'll have a program in the district level, maybe in Bhubaneswar, in Puri, or in Cuttack, wherever you like, so that she will encourage those girls to go to the grassroots level, and those women, those who don't know how to even feedback to their own child, how to get into their own problem, how to get solution. Such women are still there in our rural areas. So let us have some questions on these issues, so that within this 1 year, before September 9, we must have some problem and we must have some issues, so that she will help us how to overcome that issue, and through this W20 we can solve this problem. And real women issues are many. So one person with one issue, please discuss with me, and we'll have some more programs with ma'am, both officially, I mean offline and online. And let us take it as a targeted point for us. It's one of the objective for all the women of Odisha, not only Bhubaneswar, not only Puri or Cuttack. So you take this as a challenge, and definitely we'll do something. So think for a while about the points which has been given by her, and thanks to God we have recorded the program. You can go through the program, you can go through the slides, and what exactly she wants to do, she has already explained us. So I think all my friends, those who are not able to speak, they can also write to me through my mail or through WhatsApp. What we can do, you suggest some item, you suggest some ideas, and we'll do some events where we'll at least help one person. Myself, I'll help one person. Somebody wants to help one, at least one person, so that at least 100 women can be able to come across us, and we can help through this W20 to minimize their problem at least, or to solve their problem at least. So whatever our aim for this G20 summit, our objectives can be fulfilled through this webinar, then only our webinar will be a successful one. So may I request Satish Bhaiya, do you have any problem or anything you want to discuss about this point in Chhattisgarh? Ma'am can also go there. Ma'am can also have an interaction with the girls of your college, so that you can have some programs, so that we'll be feel happy. Yes, we have done something for our country. Jai sir. जय सर, महाराष्ट्र, पुणे।
हाँ, नमस्ते मैम।
यस सर, नमस्ते
सभी
सर।
को मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ।
सर।
मैडम, मेरा एक सवाल है कि अभी G20 के तो हम हमारी भाषा में चौधरी कहते हैं, मैं हरियाणा की बाउंड्री चाहता हूँ कि हम G20 के तो चौधरी हो गए हैं। भविष्य में आप अपने भारत को कैसे देखते हैं कि अब कौन सा मंच, किस मंच पर हमें जाने की संभावना है? जैसे हमने 20G को तो अपने हमारे अधीन हो ही गया है, आज हम उसके प्रेसिडेंट हो गए, तो भविष्य में आप का नजरिया क्या है कि कहां तक जाने की हमारी संभावना है?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। दैट आई सेड कि हम लोग एस्पिरेशनल होंगे। आप तो ये क्वेश्चन, ये G20 हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, इसलिए कि हम जो काम हम 10 साल से, स्पेशली जो पॉलिसी एडवोकेसी कर रहे थे, जो 10-20 साल से नहीं कर पा रहे थे, वो अभी लीडर्स सुनेंगे, पूरा वर्ल्ड लीडर्स। और इंडिया अभी 5th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है वर्ल्ड में, और we would definitely like to be the number 1 economy by 2035, and सबका बहुत ही बड़ा रोल होगा to make India one of the top 3 or the top most country, the largest economy in the world, and that is, I think, is what is our honorable Prime Minister's vision, and every Indian would want to be. We don't want to be called a developing third world country anymore, because we are the leaders in technology. We are the leaders in so many different fields. So we should try to harness that energy that's there in the country and solve issues of poverty, marginalization, discrimination, all that's happening against women, children, Dalits, tribals. We should get over all these issues. And I think every individual has a role to play. हम सब सरकार के ऊपर नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं. सब citizen, सब नागरिक का role है और बहुत important role है. And we need to contribute to nation building. Then only we can transform the nation. Then only we can dream of our nation to be the topmost nation in the world.
थैंक यू मैम ये तो सत्य है और जैसे हमें G20 के प्रेसिडेंट आई तो गर्व से सिर ऊंचा हो गया हमारा, क्योंकि एक अलग ही फीलिंग आती है कि हम पूरे विश्व को लीड करेंगे। धन्यवाद। और अपनी आदरणीय नमिता मैडम का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। वो इतने खूबसूरत कार्यक्रम लेके आती हैं, उनकी तारीफ कहाँ तक करें। और महाराष्ट्र की तरफ से आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू। Issues of global significance are many, as all of you know. So migration, starting from migration to employment, healthcare to economic empowerment, then women empowerment, it is a question for all time to come. So let us think about at least one point in which we will work so that we can help our community. I don't think for the entire community. We just start from a small group, small team. So let us have some discussion, some more points. I'll ask ma'am, Dharitri ma'am, to give us some paper works like some strategy, and we have to develop a core group and we'll do something as per your objective. What is the objective of our women 20, so that we'll come across that objective and we'll fulfill some points, or we'll have some target to achieve that objective. And let us hope for at least 1 point or 2 points, so that we'll have a definite goal and we have to achieve that goal. So do you agree with me, Sonu Bhaiya and Jaibir Singh and all those friends? So that we'll have some more webinars and some points to discuss about any one point. Climatic condition, let us join, let us have some rigorous work on that, so that everybody will have some idea how to, even if on 27th we're having a discussion on climatic condition and how to place it on the budget. There is no budget till now for the climatic condition. We are just having general budget. So let's have a point, an issue for climatic change, and budget must be flow for that region only. Like that, let us think about this global issue. So we are thinking about this global omission, all that points, very, very big things. No, let us have some small things and we can work over that. So if you don't have any question, now we can wind up this program. And Rashmi ma'am, are you there? RASHMIREKHA ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I am here.
Okay.
I am
So
ready.
many people from Delhi, Minati ma'am, Minaki ma'am from Haryana, I think. Do you have any suggestion, ma'am? Minaki Sharma ji? Yes, Minati ma'am. I know it's a virtual mode, so very difficult to develop a discussion for more than 1 hour. So you can write to me. Let us have some more discussion. I'll discuss with Dharitri ma'am. She will bring some more national leaders so that we'll have a more discussion on this point. And if you have any question, please write it down to me so that I can forward it to ma'am, and she will have some suggestion for it. That will be better. And we must have a two-way discussion all the way. And let us see and hope for the best. And today, ma'am, join with us, and she encourages us and she enriches us also with some ideas about G20 and W20. On this aspect, I want to present a small memento to Dharitri ma'am, the Chief Coordinator of W20 Secretariat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Please acknowledge. And when Lord Jagannath is there, so there will be no problem for all of us. And
Thank you. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
peace and prosperity.
Thank you.
Let's have a very good New Year, prosperous New Year. And thank you, madam. Now, formally, I want to request RASHMIREKHA ma'am to propose the vote of thanks. Yes, Shashi ma'am.
ନମସ୍କାର ନମସ୍କାର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଜୟ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ 136 ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ୱେବିନାର ଯାର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଥିଲା ୱାନ୍ ଆର୍ଥ ୱାନ୍ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ଆଣ୍ଡ ୱାନ୍ ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ମୋଟୋ ଥିଲା ତାର ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ନଳିନୀ ପ୍ରଭା ମ୍ୟାମଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର କନଭେନର ନମିତା ମ୍ୟାମ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହୋଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଦି ୱେବିନାର ତାଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର ସାଇଶ୍ରେୟା ଜଗନ୍ନାଥଙ୍କ ଷ୍ଟକଂ ଗାଇଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ବକ୍ରତୁଣ୍ଡ ମହାକାୟ ଗଣେଶ ବନ୍ଦନା କରିକି ଆମର ୱେବିନାର କୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଏବଂ ଆଜିର ଚିଫ ସ୍ପିକର ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଧରିତ୍ରୀ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ ଚିଫ କୋଅର୍ଡିନେଟର ଅଫ W20 and Secretariat. On behalf of the webinar, it is my privilege to convey vote of thanks on behalf of my webinar team. Nowadays, there are too many global issues and too many strategies. But this webinar is very essential for nowadays to face these issues. Though it is a tough program, very tough, it is not possible to for some 1 hour to complete or to communicate all the things among us. Though it is a tough, so it is must required another session. Namita ma'am also informed us. So on behalf of our team, I am thankful to Dharitri ma'am giving us many data about the G20 issues, and many thanks to Namita ma'am for arranging this type of webinar. I am thankful to all the participants for all them. It is possible to arrange this type of webinar. Let Jagannath bless us to arrange this type of webinar on the coming days. Happy New Year, happy last Xmas to all. Jai Jagannath. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, on behalf of one of the participants should be awarded with a certificate. So let's have the certificate here. I think the certificate goes to Sweetie. Okay. Our webinar team member, Sweetie Pradhan. And please see, you'll have an idea about the 20 countries, those who are the participant members of this G20. Madam very speedily told all the names because she has worked on it. So let us extend all possible help to ma'am so that it will be a good one, and the presidency will carry forward. So I'm very happy, Dharitri ma'am. Yesterday, I just requested her about sustained gold. But I'm so happy. See, without any hesitation, she told, yes, ma'am, I'll explain about that point. And let's have some more. I actually want to tell about G20 summit. Many people, even if the lecturers, the teachers, they do not work on it. That's why they don't have any idea. So I was so happy to have such an international issue. And everybody, India being the presidency, but we really amazing. So thank you, madam, for suggesting such an global issue, and hope for the best in the next year. Before all of you might be knowing, September 9th and 10th, we are observing at the day on Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. So all my friends, Vandana ma'am, yes, Vandana ma'am, I know you want to say something. You can. Yes, you ask some question.
No, madam.
Yeah, okay. बोलिए आप बोलिए वंदना मैम बोलिए कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं बोलिए
Jai Jagannath. Can you hear my
Yes, yes.
voice?
Well,
ମୁଁ କଣ ବା କହିବି, ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଲାଗିଲା ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ଟା। ଆଉ ନମିତା ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ତ ମୁଁ କେତେ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି ଭାବି ପାରୁନି। ଆଉ ତେଣୁ କରି ସେ ଏତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ଆରେଞ୍ଜମେଣ୍ଟ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଜିନିଷଟା। ଆଉ ଧରିତ୍ରୀ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ କୁ ମୁଁ ଭାବି ପାରୁନି କେତେ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେବି, କେତେ ଅଭିନନ୍ଦନ ଜଣେଇବି। ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ କଥା, ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ଡାଟା we collect from her, and we feel very proud for her, and only not only the winner, but also Namita madam was very close to me, and she told many advice, and also she is very she's trying her best to give some contribute some words, and also many activities. So we thankful to her, and also the webinar. The program is very nice and successful also. I try my best to connect with Namita madam, and also thankful to all.
Thank you, madam. I'll be very happy. Thanks for your feedback. I'll be very happy if you will join with me for Pragati Maidan on September 9th. We'll go together. And we'll meet Dharitri madam then and there. And I met her, Mrs. Patnaik, since long when she was there in Action Aid. She was so loving and she was so caring for the women group and the child, particularly for the child development activities. She was there. And she explained because she was involved in the process. That is the point. I want to not only explain, I want to just share the knowledge what she has and how a Indian and Odisha, a girl, a woman from Odisha become the chief coordinator of a great international meet. So can you just believe? Crown of heads up to her. So I'm congratulating once again to her, and we are always with you, ma'am. Whenever you want our support, our cooperation, our help, we all will be there. We'll extend our cooperation to you, and you go ahead. We are always following you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
And I look forward to working.
Sure. Now we'll have a group photograph, and Priyamada madam from Mumbai. कभी हमारे प्रियमदा मैडम नमस्कार. प्रियमदा मैडम का आज टिके डेरी ही गला. Okay, we'll have a photographs. All of you, unmute your video. Yes, please. Jyoti bhai, where are you? You have not. Yes, I'll request all of you to take photographs so that we can have madam with us. All my friends, including Priyamada madam, Dr. Priyamada Samal from Mumbai, the poet, Gautam bhaiya, Loknath bhaiya, Ashok Rath, ସମସ୍ତେ ଅନ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ. ଭିଡିଓ ଅନ୍ ନ କଲେ ଆମ ତମ ଫଟୋ ନେଇ କିଛି ଲାଭ ନାହିଁ. ଆଉ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ ସମସ୍ତେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କରିବେ, କଥା ହେବେ ମ୍ୟାଡମଙ୍କ ସହିତ. ମ୍ୟାଡମ ଆମ ଓଡିଶାର ଝିଅ, ଓଡିଶାର ବୋହୂ, ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କଥା ହେବା. ଏବଂ
ଓଡିଶାର ଝିଅ କିନ୍ତୁ
ଗୁଜରାଟର ବୋହୂ, ସରି ବିକଜ ଆମମାନେ ସବୁ ଆମର ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ ଚାଲିଛି, ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଚାଲିଛୁ. ତେଣୁ ଏଇଟା ବି ଗୋଟେ ରେକଗ୍ନିସନ, ବିକଜ ଆମ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ଆମକୁ ଆଲାଉ କରୁଛି. ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ସ ଏ ଗୁଡ୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗ. ସୋ ଆମମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାହିଁବେ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ମ୍ୟାଡମକୁ ଅନଲାଇନରେ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବେ. ଯୋଉ ସିଂ ସାର୍ ଫ୍ରମ କଳାହାଣ୍ଡି, ନମସ୍କାର. ଆମମାନେ ମ୍ୟାଡମକୁ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବା. ସେ ଆମକୁ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ସୁନ୍ଦର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ସହିତ କେମିତି କାମ କରିବାକୁ ହୁଏ बतई भी पारिबे आपण जदी ऑफलाइन रे डाकिबे भी मैडम जदी टाइम पाइबे आपण से तो जॉइन करि पारिबे सो आमे गर्व अनुभव करबा एमती जणे मते देखि आपण खुशी होजोनी मोर 10 गुण काम सब मैडम करछियोंती सो लेट अस जॉइन आवर हैंड्स आमे तांगो सिखिबा प्रति आमे एते सुंदर मनीष जन्म आज भगवान हमको देइछियोंती अन्य मन को किछि करिबा अन्य मन पय किछि करि पारिले हम केते खुशी लागिवो किंतु करिबा पय हम पाके साधन नाही आमे जानि ने आमे जदी न जानिबा इशू आमे जदी इंटरेस्ट न दबा ताले आमे किछि जानि परिबानी आज मैडम गोटे एते सुंदर प्रोग्राम कथा कहिले जो प्रोग्राम विषय में केही जानि ने ऑलमोस्ट 20% आमे जानि ने खाली पेपर रु टिके पढुचे गूगल सर्च से टिके देखि दोचे बस किंतु आमे माने जानि ने बेंगलुरु रे केमती प्रोग्राम हैला एवं बाली रे केमती हैला सेटु केमती प्रेसिडेंसी आसिला इंडिया को इट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग आ जेते बेले हम भारत रो ना आसुची हम देश रो ना आसुची हम गर्व रे हम देह को गोटे मन भीतर गोटे शेयर नै जाउ चारी हम एठी पहुंचलेडी किंतु आमे हम जगह रे अच्छे सो आहुरी आगु को जिबा शिव नारायण भट्ट भाई टिके रही जातु मूव करंतुनी जस्ट वेट नले वीडियोटा ऑफ कर दियंतु तो आमे माने ए अपॉर्चुनिटी आज मो बहुत कष्ट मैडम को पाइची मैडम कर बहुत प्रोग्राम आज यू नो सी इज द सेक्रेटरी चीफ कोऑर्डिनेटर सो सी हैज टू वर्क अलोंग इंडिया पूरा इंडिया भितरे भारत भितरे सब स्टेट को जे काम करिवे तो आज केते बड़ दिन देखंतु प्रकृत बड़ दिन र इफ आमे से दिन मैडम को पाइचे सो आई एम रियली हेल्प माने थैंकफुल एंड ग्रेटफुल टू मैम and I'm really grateful to Lord जगन्नाथ शेषरे शांति पाठ करी आज रो एक कार्यक्रम को हमें सारिबा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनं सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति 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 अगेन समस्त के पुणी हमें देखा हबो आसंता दिन रे आमे फोन गोटे प्रोग्राम करिबा म जानि नै केते बेले को प्रोग्राम ऊपर हमर इश्यू हबो सो लेट अस होप फॉर द बेस्ट विश यू ऑल हैप्पी क्रिसमस